Well, hello folks, YouTubers I guess. My name is Timmy, amateur portrait shooter and Nikon fan. Unlike some people, I do actually take portraits all the time. I'm only an amateur, but you can see what I do on Instagram and Purpleport. If you Purpleport, Timmy, spelt in a strange way. And then the same thing with an underscore and a mister is my account on Instagram. So there we go. Yes, I thought I would talk about the 105 f2DC, which I bought recently for a good price, and how I came to buy that. And I think I need to talk about the 85mm Nikkors to start off. Now, I and my brother have an 85 1.8G, which is, I hope I'm holding this in the right place, that's super good, super sharp. If you shoot that around anywhere from sort of f5 to f11, you're going to get a mega sharp result, and pretty damn sharp wide open as well. Comparatively not compared with some of the most expensive lenses like the Sigma 85-14 Art, but I mean, this is a poor man's version of that. You can buy these used for under 300 quid now, and you're probably looking at paying 700 quid used for the Sigma. So anyway, I got into a bit of a discussion on Purpleport forums, and I was curious to compare this G version with the D version that I'd had many years ago, because I've now got nicer cameras and and full frame cameras, and I kind of wanted to see how they compared, and I was just expressed the question curiously on the forums, and a really top photographer in Weymouth invited me and my brother over to try his Nikkor lenses, and he had the D and he had the Sigma Art and all that sort of thing. So we went and shot that, and our conclusion was what I've just told you, really, that his lens was super nice and better than this, but this was available for 2.5 times less in terms of the cost. Okay, so that's just chit chat about that. This is obviously a, well, it's not obviously, but this is a D3X, which I really like, and my brother really likes. So we got one of those each, and I also have a D3 that I bought recently, which I like. I like old stuff. Anyway, going to see this chappie meant that he let us try lots of lenses that he had there, and the one that we kind of liked, and we kind of knew that we would like because we kind of always fancied one, but they were always very expensive, is this 105 f2 DC, which is a portrait lens, and not intended to be as sharp and flat planed all over as the micro Nikkors at 2.8. So the idea of this one is that it blurs background quite nicely, and when we tried this one, we liked it the best of all, and liked the way it rendered colour, and we liked the way the plane of sharp focus fell away. We shot this at f2, and it still looked pretty good. And we were shooting in a natural light studio, beautiful natural light studio this guy had. His name's Ken, but I'm not going to embarrass him by identifying him exactly. But he had this fantastic natural light studio in his house, and me and my brother, we were all prepared to shoot with flash, which we very often do, and and we decided, I'm just fixing this lens hood, which if you just pull it out and twist it, I guess if you've got the lens away from you, it's clockwise. To put the lens front towards you, twist anti-clockwise a little bit, it kind of locks enough to kind of hold the weight of the lens on this nice lens hood. So that's all good. So anyway, we like this lens. It was great. Coincidentally, a few days after the visit, I looked on the MPB website, which is where I tend to buy stuff these days, and they had one for under 500 quid, described as good. So I thought, well, you can always send them back if you order them and you don't like them. So we ordered it, and it sort of arrived, and it was described as good, but it was like, to us it looked near mint. Maybe I'm not as choosy as some posh photographers, but to me this looked really great. So what you're asking is, have you tried the DC defocus control thing yet? And the answer is not really yet, but we will do. The thing is, with the COVID, we're not getting to shoot and have the models round like we used to, so we're just sort of shooting it at each other, and we haven't really got round, this is me and my brother, we haven't really got round to testing out the DC yet. And to be honest, the lens is so good, wide open and things, we aren't going to worry if the DC control isn't all that good. I mean, you see people talking about it online, but you never see anybody really raving that it produces a fantastic result and is fantastically effective. Whenever you hear the kind of use of the DC control discussed, it's usually in sort of faint terms, half-hearted, all that sort of thing. So I'm prepared not to be blown away by the use of the DC control, although we will get round to trying it, and obviously to have nice super sharp eyes, and maybe your model's face surrounded by flowers or foliage or something like that that's all creamy mushy will be very nice, and we will give that a go. And this lens does that kind of thing. I took it for a walk in the woods with a couple of mates, and we were going to shoot a model, and she kind of injured herself and didn't show up. So my mate had already come round, and so he said, what the hell, we'd go for where we were going to shoot and just scout some more locations. And I spotted this this location with kind of woodland and a kind of a pinewood sort of scene behind him, and he was well lit in the clearing, and I shot this, and it absolutely turned the sort of pine trees really soft and beautiful. So it is a good lens, but I mean, people say it's one of the greatest Nikkor lenses. Of course, they make them all with very new technology now, and they're all much sharper and stuff. But since photographs are really works of art, well, in my opinion, shooting with the older kit still produces really beautiful results, and of course it's way cheaper. Can you imagine what this is? An AFD lens, so it won't focus on the adapters, the current adapters for the Z cameras, so you're going to have to manual focus it, and I'm sure you could do that, and it will produce a beautiful job. But can you imagine what this lens would cost if they brought it out in Z, which they might do sometime? I would think it would be an 1800 quid lens probably. Shoot it on a D3, D3X, D3S, D4, and you're talking now a 500 quid lens used, and people in the past have thought it was one of the greatest. So that's my view really. I'm not desperate to get into the latest technology. Do you think I'm just waffling now? I think maybe I am. So, cheerio.